Okay, right now we'll bring you the headlines on some of today's Nigerian dailies. And before we kick off, it's my pleasure to introduce the guests on our show this morning. It's the person of Rex Kennedy, Salt Love. He's a public affairs analyst. Good morning, Salt Love.
Thank you very much. Good
morning. And welcome.
Good morning.
Yes, like I asked before this show, when you talk about salt, you talk about love. Something appears to be missing.
Nothing.
What about the sugar?
The sugar ant attacks sugar. So salt is for preservation. And
I
we all like love.
I like that. That makes a lot of sense.
It makes so much sense,
Okay, we're kicking off with the Daily Sun. Statement on non-prescription of bandits. Presidency under fire. With riders there, Afenifere, Ohaneze, Middle Belt Group, others describe government's reason untenable, strange. Leave IPOP, ESN alone. Save students from bandits in the north. Anglican bishop tells federal government. Defend yourselves against attackers. CAN, that's Christian Association of Nigeria, advises members. Nigeria only existing in name now. Methodist Archbishop. And finally, N.M.A. threatens to join doctors' strike, gives a federal government 21 days to resolve issues.
And on the Punch newspaper, still on the strike, says 21-day notice, strike dangerous now. Federal government begs doctors, N.M.A. ministry disagrees. N.M.A. faults federal government, that's why they're saying N.M.A. faults federal government as minister rejects ultimatum. Citizens' lives under threat, N.M.A. laments. And moving further, got sacked Taiwo Lakano, AMCON receiver manager from Nikon. And to the topmost part of the paper says, ASU threatened fresh strike, gives federal government Tuesday ultimatum. Government implements cooking gas imports tax, price jump by 100%. Page 27 has the story.
To the Guardian now, despite approvals, absence of port scanners costs government 800 billion naira monthly. N.M.A., this appears to be on virtually all the papers today, threatens to join doctors' strike, gives federal government 21-day ultimatum. Back to you.
All right, now for the nation, I'll just read from the top to the bottom. The topmost part says, Keyamo, government unaware of planned power tariff hike. Zenith Bank posts 117 naira billion profit before tax. Government kills senator's son. N.M.A. 21-day strike. Notice unfair, says Ngige. Why revenue formula needs review by RMAFC. And this document on the front page of the paper says, court sack Taiwo Lakano, AMCON receiver manager from Nikon. And that's a picture of the court ruling on the top. I think it's also on the Punch paper too. It appears to be.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, so that's the.
It's everywhere.
So that's finally, yeah.
Okay. Let's come to you right now.
Yes.
Rex Kennedy. Like we said, the 21 ultimatum given by N.M.A. to the federal government appears in all the papers. Something different there is the statement on non-prescription of bandits, which the paper says presidency is under fire. Afenifere, Ohaneze, Middle Belt Group, others describe government's reason untenable, strange. And from the Anglican, we have leave IPOP, ESN alone, save students from bandits instead. What's your take on this?
Concerning the issue of security in this country, I believe it's becoming worrisome.
It's always been worrisome.
It is because it's more than getting worrisome since this government came into power, particularly President Buhari's government. Outside his promises during his campaign that within 6 months he's going to deal with terrorism by dealing with Boko Haram. Boko Haram has turned to ISIS or ISWAP. From ISIS to ISWAP to Fulani herdsmen terrorists, the fourth dangerous terrorist organization in global terrorism index, and then you are talking about bandits, and these are names that are coined by government to cloud these things, and they are all the same issue. And it's getting worse every day in which you don't hear somebody being killed, kidnapped, or dehumanized by this thing. And the government was fast to go to court. I don't want to get sentimental about this one, emotional about it. The government was fast to go to court to go and start prescribing bandit, IPOB, without doing things about this bandit. And a video was going viral just 3 or 4 days ago of this Fulani herdsmen terrorists. Not every Fulani herdsmen are terrorists. The Fulani herdsmen terrorists driving motorbike into our country, and then you are not blowing these people off, and they are not our citizens, and the government is silent, the federal government is silent about it. The government is complicit.
Now, I saw a video of the attack on in Jos. I saw, I don't know if that's the video you're talking about, the video of the use a push path.
Yes.
And interestingly, this video is online, and there are some faces. I was watching the video keenly. These people, some of them were not covering. Sure, the one I
they were not covering their face. Some of them were covering their face.
They were bold enough to enter a village.
Yes.
Do a video, not covering their face.
Yes.
And post the video.
Exactly.
On social media. What's got?
Government has not come to refute, number one, those people, despite it is going online, so that you won't say that, oh, this thing came from Niger Republic, or it's coming from whatever they're saying. People who saw it know that it's from this country, and the government has not done anything about it. And the government is not even coming out with any blueprint to say this is what they are going to do. So it's security matter. You are fighting. No. When you prescribe IPOP, you go to court. People are carrying AK-47 in the country. And before this, the moment Buhari came into government, the thing he commanded the Inspector General of Police was to disarm the people in this other in the country.
Now, what are you insinuating?
I'm not insinuating anything. I'm saying what the government is doing. I'm not insinuating. This is the government is disarming the citizen and arming bandits by not dealing with bandits.
But then the president has one time said anybody found unlawfully with an AK-47 gun should be shot at sight.
Then why are they not carrying it? The chief of defense staff is there. What are they? Why are they not carrying this thing going out? The man, the senator's son that was killed, where I learned, is one of those people that is bombing the hideout of Boko Haram. So this was the person that they have to trace into Nigerian Defense Academy camp and then go and kill inside. So why would you say the government is complicit? Who gave the detail of the resident of a pilot that is on the plane that is bombing? How will the terrorists know the person if there's not an insider information inside?
You say there's sabotage.
There are sabotage within the government. Then Commander Olawumi, Kule Olawumi came out to say these people, almost 400 of them are in government. So what are we saying? So the citizens will have to start defending themselves because we have our constitutional right to defend ourselves any means, anyhow. If somebody can improvise a bomb and defend yourself.
Even if I can digress, now this issue of I don't like to use the word Fulani herdsmen, let's use the word killer herdsmen or the Boko Haram terrorists who are surrendering their weapons and government
radicalizing them and integrating them into Nigerian army.
But they said they're not.
No. They said they're not doing it.
They said they're not saying
it. But the point is, what I want to ask you now is people that claim repentance. What do you think the government should do with them? Because these people that carried out so many evil. And what do you think the government should do? Because now they're more like at a crossroad. They don't really know exactly what to do with these people. They've surrendered their weapons and they have claimed.
They know what they are doing with them, because by you sponsoring them and training them, you've not first of all reorient their mindset. Those people need nothing more than 2-3 years to reorient their mindset and reintegrate them. Some of these things that we are hearing is similar to what we heard is happening in Afghanistan. Then when these people, see, we don't want to say, a lot of people know what is happening. The federal government knows what to do, but this government is not doing it. Prescribe banditry. Prescribe them. Go to court. You had the guts to go to court for IPOB. You were able to go and pick N.M.A and kidnap him outside the country. You were able to trace Igbe down to his house, and then you are still chasing him outside the country. What are you not doing in this particular country concerning these people?
But all these things are evil.
Of course.
So wherever the federal government starts from is not the question now. The question is the federal government doing anything at all? Until we get results, you are not doing anything. Period. Until we see concrete, definite results that are coming from federal government, you are not doing anything.
If you are doing 75% and there's result, fine, beautiful. Some of these people were confessing that before Jonathan left, that they were virtually dealing with Boko Haram and they were having success because of this particular thing. But when this government came inside, it just got worsened.
Well, you said the government is not doing anything, but I just want to chip this in for Boko Haram.
They are doing this on paper.
Okay, for Boko Haram members to come and say, I wish to surrender our weapons, is that not a step in the right direction?
It's not a step in the right direction because we are not getting results.
Yeah, these are people who were once evil. You know, they have constituted a lot of menace. Right now, they have
the ideology
surrendered their weapons.
The ideology with which those people came into the system to start fighting, first of all, has the system changed? They came out fighting against Western education, for instance. It's a taboo. Has the Western education system been changed? What made them to accept? There are basic questions that need to be, genuine questions that need to be asked. And then what is their mindset? What is the vision that government is driving into them?
All right. Thank you so much, Rex Saltlove. We have to cut it here.
Kennedy.
Rex Kennedy Saltlove. We'll have another segment with you, but then we'll have to take a short break. We'll be back for more with Rex Kennedy Saltlove. I like the name, but just stay with us. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Last Monday of the month of August. And the show is still Daybreak on iBrandTV Lagos. Now we're delving into the major topic for discussion this morning. The Nigerian Medical Association has issued a 21-day ultimatum to the federal government to resolve all lingering industrial actions with the National Association of Resident Doctors, Medical and Dental Consultants Association of Nigeria, and other affiliate members. Now, this ultimatum is part of the resolutions reached during its National Executive Council meeting held in Benin City. In the midst of this, there is massive outflow of Nigerian doctors to the US, UK, Saudi Arabia, name it, all in search of greener pastures and a more convenient working environment. Rex Kennedy.
Yeah, thank you.
We're back to you once again.
Thank you very much.
Now, the Medical Association, National Association of Resident Doctors and federal government flexing muscles for 31 days now and counting.
Yeah.
Is this ultimatum going to guarantee an ultimate resolution or solution to this problem?
Well, the first answer is it won't.
Okay.
And secondly, it is a very sad situation that at a time when there's a global crisis on health issue, that is when the Nigerian Medical Associations are going on strike, and the National Association of Resident Doctors too are on strike. I said something, I was discussing with some people on the platform, and I said, considering the response, because I listened to Reverend Dr. Chris Ngige, Minister of Labor in one of your sister stations, with regard to his response, he was talking like a politician. I was not sympathetic to the cause of the doctor, anything that was being said.
And he himself is a doctor.
And he himself is a medical doctor. And then the arrogance with which he talked, because a lot of doctors are not yet maybe within the federal government hospitals, was making him to speak arrogantly that let them go. If they go, he will get some other inside. That was too childish, let me use that word. And it didn't show an empathy from somebody who was a medical doctor himself. And more also, I learned that when some of these doctors were going for interview and screening in one of the hotels, that DSS was sent after them, we don't know whether it's true or not. Even if the Nigerian Medical Association were not going to be sympathetic to the cause of the National Association of Resident Doctors, they have gotten a cause. Because if it affects one, it affects all. I heard the minister saying that, oh, this thing is affecting some few states, and this is from few states. No. If you are a professional, if it affects one, it will also affect you tomorrow, because you don't know who could be posted somewhere. So if you are fighting for only one and holding the country to ransom so that the government will do something, it is worth it for their sake. Because they are in the front line, first line of duty when it comes to this issue of health issue. They are essential people in every situation, in war, in peace. They are needed. So instead of you to pet them and give them everything that is necessary, you see, I don't want to see something. See, a system cannot grow above its leader. There's hypocrisy about this government in everything. Because this same government that is speaking was the one that was talking, when I get to office, I will ban and I will end medical tourism. If you made such a statement, security you can't guarantee, health you can't guarantee, the welfare of the citizen is not reachable, food are going up in every situation, you are a failure completely.
But then the Minister of Labour and Employment say that
they have met the condition.
The ultimatum given is in direct collision with the memorandum of understanding, the signed, and now the government is what they are doing. They are only fulfilling their own part of the MOU.
They are why didn't the federal government go to industrial courts? Because alternative resolution, alternative dispute resolution system should be applied and go to those places.
No, but the federal government had once gone to the courts.
Yes.
And the courts gave them ultimatum to resume work. I mean, the doctors, but they insisted on carrying on with the strike.
And they insisted, yes, because they need it. Because you look at, see, I will not side with the federal government in any area in this.
Okay.
Because what needs to be done should be done. Everything should be done to make sure that you retain the best in your country. Why will you allow countries to come and start poaching your best out?
Yes, actually, I was going to ask you this. This has resulted in
the brain drain that is going on.
It's massive.
And there is this thing, one of them was quoted as saying that he couldn't help shedding tears of joy when he received the first pay in Saudi Arabia.
Exactly.
Now, this trend, is it ever going to change and come back to status quo even after the resolution of this crisis?
The government must begin to say, should deliberate intention in ensuring the health. You see, a healthy nation is a wealthy nation. They say health is wealth. If the doctors are happy and then the citizens are treated very well, if I have health and have energy, I can fight for my life. I can go for labor. I can go for work. I can go and do a lot of things. So the health is crucial and is critical. The government should do everything. Health and education is crucial, and the government should do everything to ensure that the health sector is properly funded by every means. They are borrowing money, building roads. Is it human being that has not eaten that will go and enter roads tomorrow, or is it the person that is sick that will go and enter roads tomorrow? Why don't you build the key sector in the country that is very critical to the health of human beings or the citizens in the nation?
Well, then let's talk about from the part of the doctors now. the commentary my colleague read here says, the last part of it says, in the midst of this, there's massive outflow of Nigerian doctors to the US, UK, Saudi Arabia, etc., in search of greener pasture and a more convenient working environment. Now, I'll just narrate briefly something that happened 2 years ago. I think the doctors were on strike or something. I can't remember what exactly happened. So this friend of mine was rushed to the hospital, and they said there was no bed space, UPTH, there was no bed space, and they begged the doctor to come attend to her in the car. They said no. They rather said she would stay on the floor, don't mind. So they watched her gasp for breath for 8 hours and she gave up the ghost. So in that, now this was a friend of mine, a close friend of mine, who was still in school then. And then in that, I was thinking, I was moved to say, irrespective of this, would you watch someone look for air for 8 hours? We begged you to come to the car, we begged you to stay on the floor. You said no bed space, you're not going to do anything. And for 8 hours, we watched this girl die. So from the part of the doctors, I understand all of this. You need, but the human part of it, would they allow 8 long hours, not among many others?
It's because that is the one you have seen. That is the one that is touchy. But it's very painful that if you begin to manage things like that without taking a decisive solution, we are taking a decisive decision about addressing that thing, kill it. That's what the doctors are fighting for. Let's make it good once and for all, or to the best. Let's see us doing best. Individuals are building Sterling Hospital. There was a time our neighbor Ghana built 1,000 capacity world standard hospital in this country. This government alone has borrowed more than every other government combined since Nigerian gotten our independence, and then we are not seeing anything meaningful they are doing with regard to health. And then you are allowing even whatever thing we are doing for bandits to come inside and be destroying the country and the peace. When there's no psychological peace, when there's no emotional peace, you are already affecting the health situation of the country. People's BP are going up. People cannot sleep in the night. A lot of things are wrong. This government is indirectly or directly responsible for more death of citizens, either through complicit support of this thing. So everything should be done. With regard to this particular situation, please, my sister, if that case was being managed and that person come to life, let me sorry to say that, and it's happening, and the person goes, this doctor, you say, he's not human. No, it's not. You don't know how many situations that's done like that.
No, I agree to the fact.
We don't.
But then they swore during their induction. They obviously swear that, of course, would save lives irrespective. The same way the government also had that oath of office, which I do not think anything is going on them. But then I'm just asking, from the two parts, you're seeing, well, that's just...
For the two parts, for me, if it were me, I may sacrifice to save that life first. Thank God for a recording thing. Your camera can record, things can record, and take it as a proof. And then you project this in the international community. There are various ways of finding a solution to a problem. And then we save the life, and then we now use on that basis to do the thing, do our best. And that is what I will stay happy to our doctor to consider our fellow human beings, because they are like them. It could be their loved ones, it could be their relation, and if it were their close one, they couldn't have ignored that. And that is the first approach to anything. Love your neighbor as yourself. If that golden rule is being applied, honestly speaking, I believe that it will go. But now, how long will they continue like this?
Okay, now, when two elephants fight,
the grasses
bear the brunt.
Yes.
The two elephants we're talking about here.
N.M.A. and the federal government.
Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
Now, the masses are the ones bearing the brunt. More and more people are falling sick.
Yeah.
Of course.
The sick ones are being abandoned to their fate. What is going to happen as this crisis continues?
See, I'm going to look at it at the short-term perspective and then look at it in the long run. What's going to happen is, I will say something. Sometimes you fight a battle to win a war, or you strategically lose a battle to win a war, depending on the strategy you are depending on in this situation. And when things happen like this in the short term, I believe that it's sad, but we have to be real about this thing. That's what is going to be referred to here as some losses, collateral damage for the common good of all in the future. Because if this thing is probably not dealt with on time right now, then you discover that what may happen in the future could be a pandemic that is worse, that will not be able to have the capacity, excuse me, will not be able to have the capacity to handle. Nigerian hospitals and doctor ratio to citizen is very poor. And that is just the truth about it. And in the long run, this one will give us, people will say I'll be delving into politics, but it's not politics per se, but life is all about politics. Is you view the leadership with regard to the people that put those people in leadership. As per party, it is what you churn out to us as a party that tells your best candidate. That is what they are giving us in this particular thing. So we must never forget those particular things when we are taking decision in the future or when we are voting in the future, because everything boils down around party to the level that whoever they give to us and the government decide to choose and put in government are the ones that are affecting us in this particular period and making us to lose our fellow citizens because they are not giving the attention and the resources needed to develop our hospitals.
You're still talking about 2023. I'm talking about now.
I said I will speak on the short term and on the long term.
Okay, all right.
So it is both. So in this short term period right now, I believe that the government should go into a fast agreement and say all your agreements are going to be, all your terms are going to be agreed upon, and we're going to set a time frame and a timeline that is smart, is specific, is measurable, is attainable, is realistic, and is time bound for us to be able to see that this thing is achieved. If we achieve this particular time, we are going to adjust to see that this thing is done to avoid brain drain and increase the resources and increase the doctors and make them happy. If they are happy when you go to a hospital, how can a doctor be thinking of his own personal need and he's doing operation over a dead person, somebody?
I'm a distractor, obviously.
For goodness me. So even if he's fighting and doing it out of passion, and he has pressures that he has to meet up in the house, it will affect his proficiency and efficiency. So the government must be able to see that they sit down, whatever money, I don't care if they borrow the whole money and take care of the medical health, the medical, the health sector. Because health is wealth. When the people are healthy and you have a healthy structure, the people will be able to be confident to go at that. If anything happened to me, I said something, my angel is going to do some letter to the Pharmaceutical Society of Council of Nigeria, because I had two close people who had an accident and they went to a pharmacy to treat them and they couldn't even give first aid. They could not give first aid. They say that the Pharmaceutical Council of Nigeria has banned them from giving first aid. First aid for some people who had accident on the road, when 10 minutes or 2 minutes can cause somebody's life over bleeding. You can't do something. What sort of thing is going on in this country? This one just happened just about 2-3 weeks ago, of which I am a witness to it. And they are close people.
Okay, now, you wouldn't think the N.M.A, Nigerian Medical Association, is rather too hasty in issuing this ultimatum, considering the fact that there were some assignments given to them to take care of and all that. None has been attended to. And they jumped into the issuance of ultimatum. And that is exactly what the federal government appears to be complaining about.
We get where he will import his doctors now. He is boasting that he has a place where he will import his doctor. Let him go and import his doctor to come and take care of the health sector. Since you know where he will import his doctor.
It would have just been an emotional statement by him anyway. He
might really not if we go this way, this problem isn't going to be solved.
It might be an emotional statement.
No, see, he was speaking without emotions. It's not good to deal with human being and then you are not sympathetic and you are not showing empathy. It doesn't make sense. It's not being emotional, it's being pragmatic and being realistic about issue on the ground. 3 weeks is long. If they are politicians, they gavalitate and jump from night to night and discuss. So let them keep discussing every day between 2 and 3 weeks and let them find solution. There will be solution. If the government make it a frontline issue in the agenda that this issue must not allow to spiral, ripple out of control or go out of control, then they should be able to sit down and discuss with these people. What do you want? Okay, this is how far we are going. What do you want us to do? Let them work on the terms of the doctor, not on federal government terms. That will solve this problem.
Terms of the doctors. What is the doctors? The doctors, their terms are really, well,
they are not. It's for the interest for them. It's not just for their own personal interest, for the whole nation. So let them work on the terms of the government, of the doctors.
All right. Kennedy Rex Saltlove.
Thank you very much.
It's always an amazing time with you on the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Rex.
I we hope the next time you're here, we'll be discussing how good the healthcare system has
been. It's going to take time to build up. We know it will not get there overnight, but we want a situation where the process is set in place that we see that this thing is going forward and it's making progress, and we'll be happy with it.
Yeah, I know you'll be happy with that. So
definitely, I will come here and celebrate.
Yeah,
I'll commend the government for it.
All right, thank you so much.
Optimism is the way.
Yeah,
that is
it.
That is definitely, yeah.
All right, that was Rex Kennedy Saltlove, seasoned public affairs analyst, professional and very, very passionate. You can hear it.
About this country,
yeah. All right, then we'll take a short break now for the sport lovers. Today is already standing by to bring you up to speed with what's happening in the world of sport. We'll be right back.